you for the coming. And we had the town meeting here today with Okuma town citizens. So we had very active exchange of views, and it was of very good reference for the NAIIC. Now I would like to ask the Chairman Kurokawa to give us the summary of the meeting with the residents. And then we would like to open the floor for questions. Thank you. So today we had the town meeting at Aizu City, where many Okuma town citizens have evacuated. We had the 11th night meeting. We had the witnesses, including Mayor Watanabe and 4 others. And then after the night meeting, we had 158 Okuma town residents participated in the town meeting, and we have listened carefully to the views of the residents. It was indeed very valuable experience for all of us. Now, after listening to the opinions of the residents, I thought that the time was too short. Now, the instruction of the evacuation and what was the actual and real the process for evacuation, that easy to understand, the accurate information must be conveyed quickly for the residents, and that is crucial. Once again, we have confirmed the importance of that. If they could have been given more information much earlier, then they would have been much prepared. It seems that the TEPCO may have known the information much earlier than the residents, and several of the residents were very angry about this, and their feeling have been conveyed directly to us. Now, in the town, the municipality where the nuclear power plant is actually located, what to think about the safety, that they were brainwashed, that nobody told them that there could be something uncontrollable to the human beings that could happen, that there was a safety myth prevalent. And this was a very important message to all of us. And I believe for several times it has been made aware that from the municipal government, the representatives, when they look back, they are not really sure whether they were able to properly execute their function and mission of protecting their citizens. And this is true for the national government as well, but this kind of attitude may be lacking and missing amongst the national government. As to the relationship of trust and confidence with the government, the Mayor Watanabe have said that he is no longer trusting the national government, who have not told the proper information. What about the situation of Unit 4, the decontamination and so forth? The information cannot be trusted at all. So once the trust is lost, it takes tremendous effort and time in order to regain the trust again. Now, many residents who have evacuated from Okuma town to Aizu City, as well as elsewhere, the various people who have given us their views. And yesterday and today, through the town meetings, we have listened to the views of the evacuees. And the delay in the instruction of evacuation have given serious impact on the residents. I can once again acutely feel the relevance of that. And for the past 1 year, the government's response, there has been many problems, and those were the views that I heard yesterday and today. We share the same feeling. The accident is not over yet. For those victims, the March 11, that day it has been the watershed, and that livelihood had been shattered. And after 1 year, their life as evacuee have not changed at all. I was able to fully understand. Even though we are trying to investigate and verify the accident still continues. It is not over. So with that in mind, we would like to continue our investigation. Although the time is limited, NAIIC will like to make as much effort as possible. And including on the report, looking at the process as a whole, we would like to share everything with the Japanese people. So to the national government, going through the diet sessions for their deliberations, we would like to tell the government that they would no longer be able to lose the trust and confidence of the people, never again. including the Japanese as well as people overseas. Thank you.
Now, at this juncture, I would like to take questions from the press corps. My name is, I am the public relations at the Secretariat. My name is Mori. We will now field questions. Please state your name and affiliation before asking your question. My name is Fujita. I'm a freelance journalist. Thank you very much for giving us this valuable opportunity. I have two questions. First question is regarding information disclosure. Now, there was a request that everything that has come privy to NAIIC should be disclosed widely. This is a disclosed commission. Obviously, this is disclosed information. But you also have undisclosed meetings as well in terms of hearing. For such information, will you have any barriers? Is it your policy to disclose each and every information that has been made available to you? Second point, I don't know if I should state the name, but Mr. Yuhei Sato, to the Governor Sato, there were some questions regarding the Governor. Now, in terms of NISA as well as TEPCO, the accountability was mentioned frequently. But for the local governments subject to the earthquake disaster, and I think systematically to the prefecture, where the siting of the nuclear device is taking place, as well as municipal government, how are you going to verify the accountability of the local government involved? Thank you very much. Regarding information disclosure, as you know very well, what we are doing is a commission that we are disclosing, but we also have other activities as well. Each of the members are actively pursuing information. As mentioned, within TEPCO, we have a dedicated room where we can access information. We are also conducting a hearing as well. So what is going to happen to such material? We are indeed concerned about that. It is as if we can include everything in the report. How can it be preserved? How can it be managed is a challenge for us. I don't know if it's going to be decided by the Commission, or whether it should be considered in the context of law. In terms of preservation of this information materials. We need a process, a legal process. We are thinking about that. Now, in the many hearings that have taken place, because of the current position, there are some cases where they don't want to have their name mentioned. They want to remain anonymous. So the period will be determined in which it will remain undisclosed. And we have created materials accordingly. In other words, the original material should be subject to verification. That is what we'd like to do. But what is the framework in which this should be done, or time frame in which it should be done, should be subject to consideration as well. Now, regarding the governor, as well as mentioned at the outset, in terms of we want to make proposals for the future, but we have to consider the original process, what kind of laws were created, and what kind of processes are available under the law will have to be verified. And this has come to light recently. For example, the 3 laws in this area will have to be subject to investigation. We have to verify the process. We are making considerations. We have to understand the background in which this has happened. And for the local government, for Fukushima, the prefectural government will be subject to hearing as well. Manpower and time are limited. And we are pressed for time. But within the limited time, we would like to do as much as possible and make significant progress as much as possible.
Any other questions? NHK, my name is Kobayashi. From the participants from the community about information disclosure and the response right immediately after the accident. They said that nobody is taking responsible, no one from the government, no one from TEPCO is taking responsible, and it should be pursued. And from Mr. Nomura, I think there was a comment concerning the pursuing the person who's responsible. I understand this is different from government investigation commission, but Dr. Kurokawa, would you like to share with us the future trend? Regarding what kind of impression you might have had in the past, the rounds of meetings, and how you're going to use in the media coverage, I don't know. But after 1 year has passed, various reports and the documentary types of books have been issued in a large number, and there are many things that we have come to know with those things now becoming available. In the final analysis, the people in the local community, much more than people in the higher up think, they have the capacity to pass judgment, and I think the higher you go up, I think the worse you become. That might be the expression that one might get. As I said before, societally, those people who have, not responsible, but who have positions, or what shall I say? The more authority one has, the more responsibility you have. But there seems to be a lack of responsibility. I said that before, and you have to really brace yourself for taking that responsibility, but that consciousness seems to be lacking totally. And when a crisis hits us, what kind of judgment is made by those people, and what kind of actions are taken by those people? That's very important. But as I listen to the people today, closer you become to the local community, I think higher the capability of the people to translate ideas into actions, and also higher the consciousness of the people. So why does this happen? Why is it this way? With the people of Japan, in an easy to understand way, I would like to share the results. That's one of the things that I would like to do. I don't really know how this can be expressed in a tangible manner, but definitely I would like to share this with the people of Japan.
Thank you. Any other question? Yes, please. My name is Takeshita from Nihon Keizai Shimbun. I have 2 questions. Now, today, through the hearing, there were many statements that the government did know in advance. For instance, Ibaraki Kotsu buses, 20 of them were arranged, and that the TEPCO's employees' wives have already run away much earlier. It was quite shocking for us. So, Mr. Kurokawa, did you know about this, and what is your impression after hearing that the government may have known the information much in advance? But what about the hearing? For instance, calling the CEO of Ibaraki Kotsu, the buses, or including Mr. Yoshida, the people on the ground. Would you be interviewing those people and get their testimonies as well? Through the hearing, the process, how the bus arrangement has been requested, I'm sure you have felt the same, looking at the documents and the records, the minutes, and looking at the books. It seems that there were things known to some people already much earlier in time, and we need to investigate and try to validate that. And there are many reporters who have written after their investigation, and many media have also reported that. When the Nikkei person says it is shocking, I myself would like to respond that it was quite shocking for me as well. How to verify the process itself, and how to make sure that the same thing would never happen again. As Dr. Nomura had said, how should we pursue the responsibility of the people in the leadership? And we wouldn't mention names, but people in a proper position, the responsible position, how will they be able to take the responsibility and take responsible actions? During the peacetime, normal times, so you should have that preparedness, the resolve already, that when the emergency happens, that these should be done properly. Now, I wouldn't say anything in specific, but we should try to firmly and properly go through the process to elucidate what has actually happened. Thank you. The person in the center.
Nico Nico Doga, my name is Tsukada. Now, today, many of the citizens have talked about their views as well as their current state. But it seems that the accountability, whether it is national government or TEPCO, was not really clear-cut. It was rather vague. So, in terms of views and opinions, is there going to be a process of organizing these views and comments in terms of, and if there is such an operation in place, it would be easier for the citizens to express their views. Are you intending to make this kind of mechanism available? No, in fact, that is being discussed in the Commission as well, because the report from the Commission is also being subject to discussion. And this is the first time in constitutional history. This is the authority that is given by the Diet. We have to consider this significance thereof, and we have to think about this in the constitutional history as well. So whatever is produced, obviously the citizens' views are expressed in various areas, but on the part of the Commission, the important focus should be clarified as well. But how this is going to be utilized for rectification or to make progress, at the risk of repeating myself, I would like to say that the meaning of this process will have to be considered by many people before we can decide. Otherwise, it cannot be established as a process within the Diet framework. So I would like to share this process and like to have everyone involved think about the significance of this process. These are areas that we will be pondering as we proceed with our activities.
Person in the center, in the first. Nikkei newspaper, my name is Uematsu. Partly overlapping the very first question, but the chairperson, you said the process. In the town meeting, people said that they were in a way tamed with the safety myth. In the report, in this community where the nuclear power plant was located, there was an entrenched, seems to be, entrenched safety myth. History or the kind of a structural the whole reason. And are you planning to actually get into that kind of fundamentals in compiling a report? It's not that we are not paying any attention to that backdrop, because the time in the past was entirely different from the current era. The communication tool has expanded, and there are many, many possibilities now in voicing opinions. The government, the corporation, and journalism, the relationship among those is also another factor. To what extent can we actually refer to that? I'm not sure, because there are so many issues, time is limited, and few of us are full-time workers in this commission. So where are we going to place the emphasis when it comes to that? We don't want to be superficial in a report. Which points will be the focal points? What extent are we going to emphasize? Those have been always an issue, and we are trying to, as we try to compile a report, that's also important. Within the government and the legislature, that relationship is also very important. How can we actually make sure that will be well represented and well reflected? We are also thinking about that as well.
My name's Skinner. I'm a freelance journalist. Just one point. Self-defense force was mentioned several times. So going forward, in a public sphere, for the movements of the self-defense forces, would you be calling them in for testimony during the hearing? That has not been done until now, but is there a possibility? I don't think I will be able to comment on this. I'm not really sure. So the questions raised about self-defense forces mentioned today, these were the thoughts and the positions being held for many months, and I wouldn't deny the possibility, but when the report comes out, and if everybody thinks that it is quite interesting and it was a worthy effort, then perhaps the Diet may decide that we can extend the time limit to 1 year or so. The U.S. Congress have asked the 2 years for the National Academy of Sciences to establish a committee to study about the Fukushima accident. And the NRC, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the first 7 days, the telephone conversation has been disclosed. Some has been black inked, but we have read what is actually being communicated. So not just our own report, but when you read all those other documents, and to what extent you will be able to share with the whole Japanese people, you need to think about that duly. If not, we would not be able to change the political scene. So I hope that our report would trigger such a process.
No, please go ahead. My name is Nishinaka, free journalist. Now, as you have mentioned, Futaba and Okuma and Namie, these municipalities are the which you have had town meetings. Now, directly after the earthquake, and the process thereafter is subject to the investigation. Now, as the evacuation period becomes longer, there are some areas that we need to expedite. There are some bills that have been presented to the Diet. There are current issues as well, and the period, as well as also the interim disposal side is another issue. At the town meetings, the views of the residents and what they should do going forward needs should to be identified in the town meetings. Is this being to be held, and why have these subjects not been covered in this town meeting? Because, well, actually, we would like to hold as many town meetings as possible, but time as well as manpower is limited. And within these constraints that we have to prioritize our activities, this is something that we are always discussing. Now, this is a meeting which is made public. So we'd like to know what the people are thinking. So it's very important. It's very difficult to prioritize activities, but we wanted to prioritize the discussion, the struggles of the people who are leading the municipal government. The first action after the earthquake, the struggles as well as the concerns have been our focus. We have received views from various people, inclusive of town meetings, 1 year after the earthquake disaster. There is a concern that is not becoming visible is very important, because other concerns are emerging. We would like to have more meetings of this kind, but we have to prioritize within the confines of the time available as well as manpower. There are many dissatisfactions on our part as well, and if possible, we would like to have this process continued, because we must share this information amongst the citizens of Japan. And I agree with what you are saying, and that is the area that I am struggling with. But this is not the only topic that we have to focus on.
About the next meeting and onwards, concerning inviting politicians, one before the last, amongst the Commission members, I think that possible invitation has become an issue or theme. The benefits or demerits of making it public or not public, but what is your view as a chair of the NAIIC? Again, we've been discussing that, and where we can make some advancement, but by making it public, there are those people who are waiting for the disclosure.
So what about the advantages and disadvantages of inviting politicians and making it open to the Commission? And I'm sure there are many people who would like to watch what is happening in an open forum, but on the other hand, there are many people who would like to see more closed sessions so that truth could come out. We need to judiciously proceed with the process. It would depend upon how you would be reacting, but after 1 year, all sort of things have happened. Then, looking back into the original source, just by looking at documents, I don't think we will be able to make the judgment. So there are, of course, pros and cons of actually asking those politicians who have been making the decisions at the time. So if necessary, we are going through the procedures to make this happen. So what I would like to mention is why did those decisions being taken. It is not that we are doing investigation at random. If we are to explain ourselves, as much as possible, we would like to share the information with the Japanese people, and we would like to make the process to that end as much as possible. So this will be the very last question. Yes.
Free journalist, my name is Kino. You mentioned NRC, so I have a question. For instance, NRC, to conducting hearings on the part of NRC, would that be a possibility? Is that actually progressing regarding that? They have to go through a certain process. And the other day, we posted it on our website. For instance, the head of energy, the DOE went to the Seoul, the Dr. Chu, and then Dr. Chu, they dropped by at Tokyo, and the government of Japan didn't invite him, but he and I have been friends for more than 10 years or so. But then this requires so much procedure. Our situation, we have been given the mandate from the National Diet. We are investigative commission. So even for me to see him as a friend, again, the process-wise, this can be very cumbersome. But anyway, I had a chance to meet him, and I don't have to hide it. So that I wrote about it, and it so happens that I had a chance to introduce him to the members of the NAIIC. So later, when the report is published, where, in what form I met him, if this is not a problem, I'd like to open that to public, and how we got at as for the opinion voiced by him, I have to make sure that I get his consent. So the due process must be followed. Perhaps from the end of next week, I would like to go to Washington, D.C., and that's available. The information is available on the website, and I am following the.
Although the details may not be disclosed. Thank you. So thank you. This is the end of the press conference. Thank you very much for staying with us for long hours. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to meeting you again at the next Commission meeting. Thank you.